Hello everyone and welcome back to another in the Blender Learning Series. Today what we're going to be doing is finishing up the UV breakdown of our prison tower model and then hopefully get on to actually texturing it. That said, let's dive into Blender. So here we are in Blender once more. We've just got this little set down here that we've got to work with. And let's get to it. Let's turn sync on so we can see what we're working with. That ring is that bottom set. Let's go ahead and move that over. Just move it up and in, and it's not going to have a whole lot of texture to it given where it is, but we do want it moved up into a more reasonable setting. Okay, so these, let's see, can I move it? Yes, I can. Excellent. So we will mirror this. Let me turn screencast on now that I think about it. So we want to turn sync off. Grab it this way. And we're going to mirror it on the y-axis. Is it not disconnected? I thought, slight adjustment. Let's go ahead and mark this seam right there. And we will make sure this is pinned. And now we're going to unwrap. And now we want to use a bit of higher level commands, so we go into the select menu and we want to select pinned. Now we can select the inverse with Control I and drag all of this down. What is this? Okay, that's really nothing to be worried about. Really nothing to be worried about at all. We'll just move it up here, because that seems in line with what this stuff is. Somehow that just didn't get pinned earlier. Let's go ahead and pin it now so it stays in place. Now back to this. If we desync everything, we can now mirror this on the X. Wanting to make sure we don't have anything up here selected. It's my fault that I didn't check that. It's something to always keep in mind, make sure everything is deselected before you go and select something new, and that's easily done. Just tap A once, twice. Once you see everything selected, hit it again, and that deselects everything. Easy to remember. hard to keep going in the proper way, because you want to do it the other way, but doing it the other way can cause problems. Okay, got that part tended to. We'll just be able to slide it right up in here. Actually, let's rotate it 90 degrees. Let's see, maybe here. How about if we flip it on the X and then on the Y? I like that. That will do. And now we're just left with this piece. Just scale it down and rotate it 90 degrees as well. Flip it on the x-axis. Scale it up a little bit. And there we go. So that is all of the tower model laid out. So let's export the UV layout for this. And we're going to call it PT Tower Body. So -BODY. And we want to export all UVs. And export UV layout. And that is that. Now let's go ahead and fire up Inkscape. Always takes it a little while, but there we go. Now let's open up the file here. Of course, it shot it to the other screen. Why would it do anything else? But we're back now. So, as before, we want this on one half and Blender on the other, so we can more easily go back and forth between the two. So what are we going to be looking to do first? Let's start with these partitions here for the wall area. They need a brick type texture. So let's just draw in some lines. And I'm not looking for them to be perfect. We just want enough something like this. Let's pull the ends in a bit. Something like that. So there's a crosshatch. And what we're going to do is, before we do anything else, turn the width up to 3, I think. Yeah, 3. And now if we group it, what we can now do is duplicate it out, Control and D, I believe, and just drag it over. And see if we can get them to kind of line up. That looks pretty decent, but we can go in and adjust it. Let's zoom in a little bit. If we just kind of nudge this one up a little bit, and this one down. That looks better. So now let's do that again. We can duplicate both of these, and this time let's go down. And this time let's go over one. Alright, now we want to work with these ones here. And then this one. So that's kind of a fantasy brick layout on the cheap. Let's just pull these out to where they're even with these. And this up as well. And then we're going to do the same with these. And this one. So now we've got kind of a brick pattern. Let's group all of these parts together. Object group. And now let's put in a backing area, and we'll make the bricks kind of a we'll go a reddish color, maybe this one. Yeah. And if we drop it to the back, there we go. Take these and make them a lighter color. Something like that. Now grab both, and we want to group them. And with that done, we can slide these in over. We want to make sure we are only doing those parts that we need. So what we're going to do is bring it down, drop the opacity down to 50 or thereabouts, and pull it, stretch it out maybe to here, and now we're going to duplicate it. So Control D, slide it over, and these ends aren't going to line up like that, but if we flip it horizontally, you'll see that now they will. Alright, let's let's fix this because it needs to be the same dimensions here. These need to just come together at the middle here. That's what I'm trying to say. So there we go. Now let's duplicate it one more time and flip it again, because now we need the other side to line up. Zoom in on it. And just take these to the middle to where they will line up with each other. Okay, now we just need to reset the opacity for each of them, but we will do that after we have them all selected and grouped. I'm forgetting, got to do that individually. So reset the opacity for each one. Forgetting what program I'm working in here. It happens. So now we've got the one part, we need to replicate it for the top. And what we're going to do, move it up into position, and then flip it vertically. Alright, now this may seem like a problem, but it really is not, because we just need a circle here to cover that bottom area, which, as we said, is not really going to have all that much color to it, so we can just do this to it. Alright, let's see how that looks. So we save it, come back over into Blender, open image, PT Tower Body, switch this view to textured, and that looks not too shabby. Let's see though, I think these can would benefit from being stretched a little bit. So we'll stretch them out just a touch and then come back into Blender. And reload the image. That kind of made it look a bit better. That'll work for what we're doing. Okay, so these middle portions, we're just going to give those a standard color. So they will be a, let's give them that color. Save it. Reload. That looks okay to me. I think the tops look better with something different there instead of just the regular shading to it. Now we need to do the brick on this as well. So we will just copy again and pull it over. And now this time we want to ungroup it, because we can just use each individual part here. Grab the middle one. Didn't mean to do it quite like that. Okay, let's make sure everything stays together. Take the opacity down a little bit so we can see. Grab the next one, pull it up, and stretch it out as well. Now we need to adjust these, just like we did before. Grab and pull, grab and pull. Now we want to avoid a little issue that we're going to be having here. So if we just move it in, that should fix it. Yeah, that should work. All right, on to the next one here. Oh, we seem to be running out of time. That's what happens when you don't keep track of the time. So I'll see all of you in the next video. Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed the video you just watched. If you did, right here, let's move my head over. There we go. Right here is going to be another video in the future for the next in this particular series. And over here is going to be the previous video in this series, along with a subscribe button down below it. So feel free to give that a hit, and be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't. And let's see. Oh yeah, be sure to leave a comment. I'd appreciate knowing what your thoughts are. Until the next one, everyone.